bring in another young,
Yep.
bright head or coordinator in Joe Woods. What do you expect to see on that side of the football from the Browns under Joe Woods?
Yeah, Joe Woods has a lot of promise and was sought after for obvious reasons with his defensive background and passing game coordinator job in San Francisco. He really rejuvenated Richard Sherman, who was, of course, Legion of Boom, All-Pro in Seattle, then an Achilles injury, and really we all left him for dead. And before you know it, he's back and has another All-Pro year and helps bring the Seattle defense to the Super Bowl. Now, you can ask, all right, was it the front four, front five, really the 6 options they had in San Francisco? I saw some good tweets when Joe Woods was named the defensive coordinator here, like, oh, is he bringing all those first-round picks over with him too? It's pretty easy to have a good defense when the quarterback doesn't have time to throw. But you have to assume that Joe Woods fundamentally is going to get these defensive backs, Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, playing their best football. He mentioned Mike Tomlin as a mentor, who Mike Tomlin had started in Minnesota, and then of course we know what he's doing in Pittsburgh, one of the most respected and most talented coaches in the NFL. So from who he credits as a mentor and his history with San Francisco and in other stops in his secondary, you expect the secondary to be strong, and of course he's going to coach a get after the football type with the defensive line, including Myles Garrett, who will be back.
Well, and to be honest, everybody seems to think the Browns' defensive line underperformed. There were some big-name guys that didn't have the type of year they were expected to. And then, of course, Myles Garrett gets suspended for a number of games. It would seem that the pieces are there to be a dominant defensive front.
Right, they are. And Joe Woods, like any coordinator, could not be more excited to work with Myles Garrett. You see that guy, and you see all the potentials there. And really, I think losing Myles Garrett last year, though, of course, his actions were not acceptable, and we've moved past that. But he was, in a way, a big winner from last season. We saw how that defense changed from night and day. Sure, they did fine against Miami, but once they got to that second Pittsburgh game, and after that, they were just getting ran all over. Myles Garrett really showed his value there. And it's unsure whether Olivier Vernon will be back, definitely not at that number. So they might need to shore up the defense line a little more. But guys like Sheldon Richardson really stepped up in Myles Garrett's absence. Larry Ogunjobi, also Chad Thomas. They've got some bodies there. And with what Joe Woods was able to do in San Francisco, I think he's going to be able to maximize that unit as long as they add another guy.